Hello, this is Ruth Hollingshead, trustee for Site for Wight, welcoming you to this week's Talking News.
Site for Wight Talking News for Friday the 14th of August 2020. This also includes our August newsletter.
This is Den reading from the Island Echo. Visiting restrictions implemented over coronavirus eased at St Mary's. The Isle of Wight NHS Trust has relaxed some restrictions on visiting patients at St Mary's Hospital. Limited visiting is being reinstated in a controlled and planned way to help keep patients, staff and the wider community safe, while allowing people in St Mary's to be more connected to their loved ones. The changes, which introduce staggered visiting times to wards at the hospital, come into effect from today, Monday the 10th of August. Patients will be allowed one visitor at a specified time each day. To help families and loved ones to stay connected during COVID-19, the Trust launched a Message to Loved Ones service and an essential items delivery service. These should be considered as alternatives to visiting in person. Alice Webster, Director of Nursing, Midwifery and Allied Health Professionals, said, "COVID-19 has changed the way the NHS works, right across the country and not just here on the island. We have put in place a range of measures to keep our patients, staff and the community safe. Thankfully, the number of cases and deaths linked to COVID-19 was relatively low when compared with much of the country. We are not complacent and will do everything possible to keep people safe. We are allowing more visitors to our hospital because we know how important it is for patients to feel connected to their friends, relatives and loved ones. Visitors will be asked to wear a face covering at all times and to follow social distancing guidance by washing their hands regularly and keeping their distance from our patients and staff. All visitors must have been free of COVID-19 symptoms for at least 14 days. New staggered visiting times have been introduced for all hospital wards, and guidance for visitors has been published on the Isle of Wight NHS Trust website. Exceptions will be made to the new visiting times and some of the restrictions on compassionate grounds, but this should be discussed with staff on the ward in advance of any visit so that a risk assessment can be carried out.
This is Howard reading an article from the Isle of Wight County Press about a research and development facility for pain relief. A local farmer who harvests an unusual crop is celebrating meeting all criteria set by the Home Office to move his business to the next stage. Adam Mauer, who set up Vecticana earlier this year to research, develop and supply medical treatments for pain relief using cannabis extracts, is now looking forward to moving the business forward, bringing new investment and jobs to the local economy. His organic cannabis crop is grown on the island under special licence from the government. Adam believes the island's climate provides the perfect conditions to successfully cultivate the plants. Working with research partners, the Future Clinic, set up in 2018 by Dr. Gary Lee to treat patients with fibromyalgia and other chronic pain conditions, the company is now set to put the island right in the forefront of this exciting field of medical research.
This is an article from the County Press, read by Terry. Frontline care team halved in Isle of Wight Council budget cut. A frontline team which provides vital care to the sick and vulnerable during the night is to be halved. A decision was made by the Isle of Wight Council in the 2019-2020 budget to save £2 million in adult social care, including a £102,000 budget reduction of the night outreach team. However, only now is the cut being implemented. This will replace half the carers with equipment and machines, meaning only 2 people will be on duty across the whole island on any night. The Isle of Wight Council said the service was redesigned as it needed to change, providing care in less intrusive ways, utilising new technology such as beds to turn patients in the night, with dignity and privacy paramount. Patients have already seen the introduction of new equipment, but the team has said it does not work and expressed concerns cuts could add pressure on paramedics and social workers. Members of the team say they feel senior managers and counsellors do not want to talk to them and hoped someone would fight for them. One said the counsellors made a decision and they were wrong. They have been advised they can get rid of us, but they don't know what we do or how valuable we are to people. They keep saying social care is important, but they are focusing on money, not people. Mark Chiverton, Unison representative at the council, said there had been a systematic starvation of service users as council bosses told other care providers not to refer people to the service. The Isle of Wight Council said, however, the demand for the service has fallen due to the alternative equipment and technology being deployed. Dr. Carol Tozer, the Council's Director of Adult Social Care, said the Care Close to Home strategy focused on promoting independence, investing in technology to meet people's needs. She said, "We have invested in beds which can automatically turn people at regular intervals, minimising the risk of developing pressure sores and removing the need for a carer to have to physically attend the person during the night." Before the cuts were proposed, the night team used to care for 34 regular clients before any extra crisis calls, but this number has fallen to 7 in the past 18 months as new users have dried up. Dr. Tozer said a review of the service was undertaken due to more islanders choosing equipment over traditional care, and with funding pressures in adult social care nationally and locally, this has meant the council has had to make best use of every penny and pound available. Mr. Chiverton said the decision was wrong, dangerous, and had not been thought through, a hidden cut with no real public debate about the consequences of cutting the service. He said, "We want to see more open debate on this, involving the staff and councillors, so there can be a better understanding of what would be lost and how that might impact elsewhere within health and social care." The team are now trying to stop the cut, which could be enforced from the end of September, and are hoping to meet with Isle of Wight MP Bob Seeley and senior members of the council.
Hello, this is Steve reading the scaffolding news for the week commencing the 14th of August. In the Cowes area, there's scaffolding at Rope Walk, Langley Road, at 15 Market Hill, and at Cameos at 16 Bath Road. In the Newport area, at 129 High Street, at 48 Lugley Street, at the Co-op at 52 High Street, Carisbrook, at Santander in St James Street on the corner of Pyle Street, and at 10A Lugley Street. In the Ventnor area, at the Clarendon Press in Market Street, and at 54th South Street. In the Shanklin and Sandown area, at 3 Downsview, Sandown. In the Freshwater area, at Marlborough House on Gate Lane, and at Alma Cottage and Baskets Lane in Yarmouth. And in the Ryde area, at 33 Nelson Street, and at 63 High Street, Brading. And now the skip news for the same week. In the Ryde area, there are skips at 13 Ratcliffe Road, at 15 Millward Road, at 41 Quarry Road, and at 51 Alfred Street. In the Bembridge area, there are skips at 33 Lincoln Way and at 42 Forelands Road. In the East Cowes and Cowes area, skips at 56 Victoria Road, Cowes, and 25 Arnold Road, Cowes. In the Newport area, there are skips at 146 High Street and at 17 New Street.
Hello, this is Lisa from Sight for Wight. Today we have recorded our August 2020 newsletter. Thank you.
Sight for Wight newsletter for August 2020. We start with the chair report from Sue Bungay.
Hello everybody, I'd like to welcome you to our new style newsletter. I do hope you enjoy the new topics we intend to cover in each publication. In order to keep it more current, it will now be produced every 2 months. Well, since the start of lockdown, there have been many changes that we've all had to get used to. Now, with the easing of some of the restrictions, we accept we have to wear masks for travelling on public transport and in shops. Social distancing is required, and we have to get used to the fact that sometimes we have to queue to get into certain shops. Both Lisa Holyhead and Ruth Hollingshead have been very active on these local changes and have gained representation on policy-making groups on the island. They've been campaigning on our behalf to communicate to the island that some people may find these changes a little more challenging. Our newsletter is for members and volunteers, and we would very much like to hear from you. There will be regular features each time, including a focus on member and volunteer stories and experiences, so please send all of those in to us, tips and practical help, technology update, and recommended apps. These features are all designed for your input, so please do get in touch. We would love to hear from you and your comments on the various things that we've recommended. With your help, we will be able to make the newsletter a really useful source of practical help, information and support. Now, our marvellous volunteers, we are really looking forward to the time we can welcome you all back. We recognise your loyalty and your generosity of time commitment to us. Risk assessments will be carried out before we reopen Millbrook House to our usual activities. The shop volunteers are already in our newly reopened shop, Dress for Less, managed by Debbie Durbridge. Please call in. The shop is well equipped with hand sanitisers and organised in such a way that social distancing can be maintained. Now to our staff, who are working at the moment on a part-time basis. My thanks as always to them. They are such a loyal, dedicated team. During lockdown, 2 members of staff have left. Laura Jasper, our member services, and Sue Young, who is our office administrator. Both of them will be greatly missed, and we wish them every success and happiness in the future. Also during the period, we've been delighted to welcome Lisa Holyhead as our new CEO. She is already very active in raising the profile of Sight for Wight and campaigning on our behalf. I'm really looking forward to the time we can all meet again.
This is Lisa reading the CEO update from the August 2020 newsletter. As lockdown eases, there are so many changes in our environment, and in this newsletter we will cover these key changes together with work that we have been doing with other island organisations to ensure individual people's needs are understood. Millbrook House is still closed to all group activities, but we are hopeful that after our usual August break from activities, this may change in September. Said, we will of course follow all government guidelines and cannot at this stage predict how these will change, so we may not be able to resume. Many of our volunteers are getting in touch and are keen to return. We miss them all and hope to welcome them all back when the time is safe for everyone. Our dress agency, Dress for Less, however, has now been open for nearly a month. As the layout of the shop has changed, we have produced a video tour with audio description so that members can understand the new layout before visiting. I hope you will like the new style of newsletter and varied content we have created, but we very much look forward to hearing from members and volunteers with their articles, tips, hints and stories. Finally, a huge thank you and sad farewell to Laura and Sue, who are already missed, but we know that they will be back to visit staff and members soon. Thank you, Lisa.
iClinic Liaison Officer. Hello, I'm Laura, an iClinic Liaison Officer, more commonly known as an ECLO for the Isle of Wight. I'm a trained professional based in the iClinic, providing support and advice to anyone affected by any eye condition or sight loss. As an ECLO, I'm here for you from the point of diagnosis and at any time you need advice. You can contact me directly or be referred to the service by another professional. I can help you find information, solutions or support. That might include making a referral to another organisation, such as the Low Vision Clinic, the Sensory Team, or to charities which have specialist teams to advise on issues such as benefits, employment, IT, or groups of volunteers offering practical help and social activities. If you need someone to talk to, an outlet for how you are feeling, or have any worries about your treatment or appointments, please do not hesitate to contact me. I can give you information about your eye condition, support with registering your sight loss if appropriate, or advocate for you in clinic. As the Isle of Wight ECLO, I can help you face to face, over the telephone, or by email. I'm here to support you, your family, and your friends. You can contact me by telephone on 07 885 210 891 or by email to laura.gooljar, which is spelt GOOLJAR, at rnib.org.uk.
This is Chris reading. Fundraising. How you can help. When lockdown was suddenly enforced in March, it put an immediate stop to all of our planned summer fundraising events and campaigns. As with most charities, this has hit us hard, but determined not to be another charity asking for cash donations, we have found several ways to fundraise, none of which involve giving cash. Inkjet cartridge recycling. Do you have any used Brother, Canon, Epsom or HP inkjet cartridges? We can recycle them and earn cash rewards. Stamps and coins. We are lucky enough to have volunteers on hand who can sort and sell new/used stamps and any old or foreign coins. Have you heard of Amazon Smile? It is very simple. You link your normal Amazon account to Sight for Wight through Amazon Smile. Then every time you spend any money on Amazon at no cost to you, Amazon donate a percentage directly to us. Why not sign up today?
This is Den reading. When we can't help, we will find someone who can. We have set ourselves a mission to identify all organisations on the island who are willing and able to help people living with sight loss. We are delighted to confirm we have received very positive responses from everyone we have contacted and are now working together in a united group with 6 key organisations to map out all service provision on the island. We are working to review the low vision journey, identifying what people may need at different stages of their lives and mapping out all the services offered by each organisation. This is with one simple aim: to enable Sight for Wight to offer the right advice at the right time by the right people.
Here are some tips and advice direct from other members of Sight for Wight. We've gone out and asked members what little tricks they use to get round some of the day-to-day tasks that may be a little challenging for people living with sight loss, and here's what we found. Toothpaste. Kate from Ariton says, I kept missing the toothbrush with the toothpaste, so I realised it was much easier to put the toothpaste directly into my mouth. Sue from East Cowes says, my mum and mum-in-law suffered with AMD and often put clothes on back to front or inside out. They could both see the colour yellow best, so we sewed bright yellow ribbon into the back of things to help. And from Lisa in Freshwater, chopping vegetables. You can use an afro comb of stainless steel to hold vegetables and fruit, then use a knife to cut between each spike. You can then turn it round and use the knife to dice the vegetables, and these can be purchased for less than £1.
Spotlight on Rini. Rini was born on the 14th of February 1930 at 9:25 a.m. She grew up during the war and married in 1948 to Norman Wagstaff. They had 5 children, 3 girls and 2 boys. In the late 60s, they bought a general store and Rini would work in the shop from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. In 1969, her marriage broke down and she later married John Badger. They moved to the Isle of Wight in 1971 for a fresh start. They bought a house in Cowes. John started a window cleaning round and Rini would work with him and, even with a broken foot, she was up the ladder cleaning windows. Rini's sight started to fail and she was later registered as blind, but this has never stopped her doing anything, and she still lives independently at home. Rini has been a member at Sight for Wight for over 20 years and says the charity has been part of her family and she thoroughly enjoys coming to some of the groups and activities, and particularly enjoyed it when zookeeper Gary from Isle of Wight Zoo came along with a selection of animals that he would talk about and members were able to touch. Rini says, the current staff are wonderful. It's a fun environment. It's so nice to come and meet other members as it takes you away from sitting at home and being blind.
This is Lisa reading from the August 2020 newsletter. Apps available on Android and Apple phones. Have you ever tried to explain to other people how your vision affects your sight? Did you find it difficult to explain what it looks like to see through your eyes? I remember when I was growing up, my mum often saying she wished she could just for one day have our vision so she could really understand how we saw. There were 3 of us, all with the same eye condition. Well, some 45 years later, she can now do this with a free app available on both Android and Apple devices. The apps are called Via OptiSim for Android, that is VIA-OPTASIM for Android phones, and Vision Sim for Apple phones, Vision Sim. It uses the camera on your phone to show real images through your phone screen. Why not have a go? Thank you.
Alison reading from the Sight for Wight newsletter. Our Island, Your Voice. We have been working hard over the last 4 months to become involved in many local and national issues affecting people living with sight loss. These include police identification. We have been approached by the police to advise on how police officer identification procedures can be changed to allow severely sight-impaired people to recognise a genuine police officer. We made several very key suggestions, all of which have been carried forward, and we are looking forward to receiving final proposals. Age Friendly Island Initiative, AFI. Sight for Wight has been accepted to sit on the steering committee of the Age Friendly Island initiative. This committee, hosted by Age UK and part funded by the National Lottery and the Isle of Wight Council, aims to make life on the island friendly and accessible to people of all ages and abilities. We further sit on the AFI Technology Group, working to provide accessible IT support and loan equipment, and the AFI Environment Group, looking at any infrastructure changes that may be made to help accessibility. We look forward to working with the group on many key issues over the coming months. Hidden disabilities. Not all disabilities are visible. Some are hidden and not immediately obvious, such as visual impairment, and therefore it can be difficult for others to recognise, acknowledge, or understand the challenges you face. Wearing the hidden disability sunflower discreetly indicates to people around you, including staff, colleagues and health professionals, that you may need additional support, help, or a little more time. Paul, the CEO of Hidden Disabilities, asked us to consult on the size and shape of their face screens to ensure they would fit and work with overglasses. We produced video trials of the product range for them, and he has used these to move this project forward.
And the ramble tag. With human contact being reduced to a minimum, Ramble Tag has come to market a simple and very effective solution. Pilot tested by one of our trustees, Ruth. This device just fits round using the Velcro straps and means I don't have to actually hold people's skin during these summer months, and especially with COVID, it feels much safer. The inventor of the Ramble Tag is Tom, who is himself blind. When walking out with his neighbour and their dogs, he said, even though we were great friends, when we linked arms, we tried to walk as one person, but using the Ramble Tag, I found an immediate and very real sense of freedom whilst still being relaxed, knowing my friend was guiding me. Now shortlisted for the 2020 National Diversity Awards, we are able to order these on behalf of members in a choice of colours and fastenings. Please contact the office on 522205 for more information, or chat to Ruth, who is happy to share her experience.
Hello, this is Sue reading Out and About cards. We have found that with the lockdown restrictions easing, some people were finding the fast-changing new situation more challenging. So, we have partnered with the Age Friendly Island initiative to create a set of Out and About cards to help people to feel more confident to navigate social distancing and other COVID-secure measures that are now in place. The scheme allows for people to wear a badge with a lanyard if they wish, which asks other people to be a little patient and allow them to adjust, explaining the reason why. It is important that the badges and lanyards are recognised across the island and that there is just one recognisable sign to look for, so posters have been created and are being launched across all businesses to achieve this. There are 2 badges and each of them is double-sided. Badge 1, please be patient. I am exempt from wearing a face covering. Please be patient. Social distancing is challenging for me. Badge 2. Please be patient. Your use of face covering is challenging for me. Please be patient. I need time and space. If you or someone you know would benefit from using either of these cards, please contact Sight for Wight on 01983 522205 for more information and to be issued with a card.
A message from Susan. Now that I have returned to work, be it part-time, I am counting down until we can start to resume at least some of the activities. In the meantime, I would like to ask if you could send in a photo of yourself carrying out either a hobby, walking in the countryside, gardening, just a snapshot of your time spent during lockdown. If you can email them to me, then I will collate and make a collage of all of you to recognise how outstanding you are. Obviously, if you don't want to be part of it, please don't worry, as I fully understand. There is no pressure. Once I have collated everything, I will send a copy out to you all, and then I will create an everlasting moment of this time.
This is Howard reading an item from our current newsletter concerning Rutherford Eye Care, celebrating 50 years of eye care. Rutherford Eye Care recently celebrated 50 years of providing eye care on the Isle of Wight. We're an island family-owned partnership of opticians, and our focus has always been to provide a thorough eye examination and quality products to enable our clients to achieve the best possible vision that they can to enhance their lives no matter what their circumstances. We make this possible by paying particular attention to the individual needs and circumstances of everyone we see and prescribing for them accordingly. To help achieve this goal, we've invested in the latest technology for examining and photographing the eye and for the investigation of visual difficulties like glaucoma and macular degeneration. And most importantly, in this modern world, we take our time to make sure we get the best outcome. We also own our own workshop for the manufacturing of the spectacles we provide, and this helps us to control the quality of the product. It also allows us to make special prescriptions when needed. We presently provide care in 4 practices located in Newport, Freshwater, Lake and Ventnor, and if your eyes are as special to you as they are to us, then we would be pleased to make you an appointment. 0193 524 629.
Hello, my name is Debbie, the Dress for Less manager. We have been open for just over a month now. It has been wonderful to welcome back not only our valued team of volunteers, but also the familiar faces of our loyal customers. When lockdown forced the shop closure in March, we didn't want this to stop our retail fundraising activities, so we pulled together as a team and launched our online eBay shop. This is now fully up and running and can be found at www.ebay.co.uk/USR/site for Wight. We soon realised we needed further items to put into our shop, so we launched an appeal through the county press asking for smart, casual and formal clothes to be donated to the charity. We also contacted all of our previous customers to see if they also had any items to donate. We could not quite believe the response from both existing customers and new donors. We now have a fully stocked shop with a full range of summer clothes in all shapes, colours and styles for enjoying time both at home or out and about. We are now open Tuesday, Thursday, Friday and Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. With social distancing measures in place, the shop has a new layout. We have produced a video of the shop with audio description so that anyone who wants to understand the layout, including where each type of clothing can be found before they come in, you can watch and listen to it. We hope we will see you soon. Happy shopping!
Hello, my name is Loretta, and I'm lucky enough to have been a volunteer in Dress for Less for the past 4 years or so. I live near Ventnor with my husband and Labradoodle called Morgan. I retired 6 years ago, thinking it would be nice to have some time to myself, but quickly found that I miss the camaraderie of working with other people. I always knew that I would like to volunteer in some capacity once I had retired, but where? Having worn glasses since my teens, I know how precious your sight is, and having sponsored a puppy in the past for Guide Dogs for the Blind, I was very pleased when I found out that Dress for Less worked to provide money for Sight for Wight here on the island. I have found the best of both worlds. I am working in a beautiful shop with a great bunch of like-minded girls led by Debbie, our manager. Our customers are so supportive of us, and I find there is nothing better than having a chat and helping to find that special something that they're looking for amongst the exquisite clothes that are all recycled, so also helping to become greener, knowing that we're assisting Sight for Wight to help their members. I look forward to meeting lots of new customers soon, as well as the familiar faces we always look forward to welcoming. Bye for now.
Hello, this is Steve reading part of the Sight for Wight newsletter. This section is about wearing face masks. Face masks must now be worn in all shops, restaurants and all public transport. It is also strongly recommended that they are worn in any enclosed public space. We 100% back the government policy, so have taken the time to explain, as far as is available, the legislation behind wearing masks. Face mask or face screen. There is no certain guidance as to whether face shields count as face masks. The Scottish Government has, however, confirmed that a face shield does not count, but the English Government has not confirmed either way. What they have confirmed is that the face mask must completely cover the whole nose and mouth and be securely fastened around the head or ears. Further, the mask must be washable or disposable, and preferably have 2 layers of thickness. There is no requirement for any minimum fabric thickness or content. There are exemptions, however, as these guidelines are deliberately not an exact list because people are all individuals, and therefore the guidelines need to be flexible enough to cover all eventualities. The exemptions are as follows: young children under the age of 11, not being able to put on, wear or remove a face covering because of a physical or mental illness or impairment or disability. If putting on, wearing or removing a face covering will cause you severe distress. If you are travelling with or providing assistance to someone who relies on lip reading to communicate. To avoid harm or injury, or the risk of harm or injury to yourself or others. To avoid injury or to escape a risk of harm and you do not have a face covering with you. To eat or drink, but only if you need to. To take medication. If a police officer or other official requests you to remove your face covering. If asked to do so by shop staff for the purpose of age identification. If speaking with people who rely on lip reading, facial expressions and clear sound. Some may ask you, either verbally or in writing, to remove a covering to help with communications. I thought a couple of examples may help. One of our members is exempt because of her eye condition, whereby any sunlight instantly blinds her. She wears glasses which fit exactly to her face to stop all light entering. If she wears a face mask over her nose, this disturbs the lower seal on her glasses, causing light to enter, which stops her seeing anything at all. This causes her immediate severe stress, because it is a sudden change to her level of sight and potentially causes harm or injury to herself or others. This said, she always wears a mask to protect people and she lowers it below her nose when outside in daylight. Indoors, the light pollution is tolerable, so she leaves it on. Other people she has spoken to are also exempt, as their only usable vision is from the lowest part of the eye, and the face mask obscures this and causes complete loss of vision, which, again, causes severe distress and potential harm to themselves or others. If you're in doubt, talk to us, and if we cannot help, we will find someone who can. Finally, a tip I read about somewhere, but admit I haven't tried. Using surgical tape. Tape the face mask to your cheeks to prevent your glasses steaming up. Why not try it and let us know if it works?
Alison reading from the Sight for Wight newsletter. A day in the life of Janet Parker, volunteer. Pre-lockdown. My days were ruled by time, household chores and meal times. A well-oiled ship, so to speak. Lockdown. Did I mention I suffer with OCD? Husband, grown-up son and myself 24/7. Overnight my world turned upside down. My husband hated the sound of a washing machine and the hoover and my constant up and down doing the chores. He seemed to be always under my feet and I told him that too. Go fishing, I pleaded day after day. The tapping of my foot increased, as did my stress levels. Help! But do you know what? Slowly, after a few weeks, I began thinking differently about life. Did it matter the bed was left unmade until 10 a.m. instead of the normal 8 a.m? Hoover not used for a couple of days? Washing left to build up? Meals served dead on 5 p.m? No! Everything was cleaned and washed up by the end of the week, and now I had me time, which I never had before. I took up my love of books again, reading 4 to 5 books a week in the garden, weather permitting. Because of COVID-19, I think I am an easier, lighter person to live with, and I want to say thank you, lockdown. Just a footnote from hubby. Thank God for fishing.
This is Chris reading. Events 2020. This year has been difficult for everyone because of the COVID-19 pandemic, with events locally, nationally and internationally all being cancelled or postponed. This, of course, was the same for us, with all summer plans postponed, including the return of our very popular murder mystery evening, and even more frustratingly, we still do not have a new date, but will as soon as government guidelines allow us to. Our 5th annual short story writing competition will still take place, and once celebrities are confirmed in early September, we will announce full details, so watch this space, but for now, save the date in your diaries for our short story writing competition awards ceremony on Monday the 7th of December. We are planning to hold it at the Riverside Centre, Newport. However, this might end up being a virtual evening, depending on government advice nearer the time. We will have regular updates on our website and social media with full contact details on the back cover of this newsletter.
Hello, this is Sue reading an article from the latest newsletter from Sight for Wight. Competition. This year, Sight for Wight, Isle of Wight Society for the Blind, will be celebrating a special birthday. For your chance to win a set of sunglasses, keyring pen and torch, we would like you to answer the following question. How old are we this year? Please email inquiries@iwsb.org.uk or telephone 01983 522205 with your answer along with your name and contact details. The closing date for entries is Friday the 11th of September. Good luck.
This is Howard reading an item from our newsletter about the 100 Club. Did you know we run our own monthly lottery draw? It's just £2 per month per number and raises vital funds for the charity, whilst giving a monthly cash prize to one lucky winner. Could either 22 or 33, which are both available, be your lucky number? If you wish to join to have a chance of winning, then please call 522205 or email fundraising@iwsb.org.uk. The more people who join, the bigger the monthly prize. Congratulations to our June and July winners, Viv Booth and Sylvia Mould, and a warm welcome to Anna and Kath, our newest members.
Thank you for listening to our Sight for Wight August 2020 newsletter. You can call us on 01983 52205 or find us online at sightforwight.org.uk. Thank you. Sight for Wight would like to thank you for listening to this week's edition of the Talking News. We would also like to thank our volunteers for reading, and a particular thank you to the Island Echo, Isle of Wight County Press, and On the Wight. A special thank you must go to Vectis Radio, who has helped us get vital information to our members.